Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Baron here. Now I'm playing this new first-person shooter called Verdun. And Verdun is referencing the great battle in World War I. So we're going to get to see some World War I style action. Now right now what you're seeing in the background is me with a machine gun. And the machine gun was a very, very devastating weapon in World War I, especially given that the warfare was predominantly trench warfare with rushes across what was known as no man's land, where you can see those two unfortunate fellows getting cut down right there. But while the machine gun was a very, very powerful weapon, this game has kind of balanced it in a way in that basically only one member of a squad is operating a machine gun, and the squad is 4 players. And there's only, you have to place it down before you can fire it. There's no like running and gunning with the machine gun. And even though there is trench warfare and no man's land and open terrain, there's enough terrain being hidden, or it's difficult to find a really, really good vantage point. Furthermore, if you do find a very good vantage point, you're likely going to be easier shot out of your little machine gun nest. Now right here you can kind of see the little kinks in some of the game, but it's a work in progress. And this happened to me a lot. I did not like the machine gun at first because I kept getting bum rushed by this guy with a pistol. But yeah. And you can see me writing in the chat right there. But yeah, so that was interesting to say the least. But I eventually got the hang of it. And what you're going to get to see me play as a machine gunner and as a marksman. But a little background on Verdun. It's a MMOFPS, and it's built on cloud-based multiplayer system, so it is hoping to allow for seamless, continuous battle online. And look at that guy. Oh man, it's funny watching this again. But World War I trench-style combat is the main thing it's trying to replicate, and there will be different scenery. I don't know why that took me so long. Basically, different scenery for your trench-style combat. Right here is kind of an open, no man's land base, but there will be the Argonne Forest as well. And for the squad combat, there's 4 players in each squad, and the composition of each squad depends on the historical unit you're representing. And some of the ones they have implemented so far, didn't know if that was an enemy or not, is French chasseurs. I'm not sure if that's a complete mucking about of that pronunciation. There's US Marines, and there's the German Sturmtruppen. Here's a good example of kind of difficult viewing angles, all dependent on where you put your machine gun. It takes a little practice with the machine gun, but the thing is, once you find a good spot, you can lay waste to rushes, which I find a good spot finally here. But you can also get counter-sniped relatively easy. But so while this is a very devastating weapon, it is kind of balanced in game by limiting you on basically good spots to put it. And they can only cover certain avenues of the field. So you'll have to relocate a lot, especially if someone figures out your location and is trying to counter-snipe you. But yeah, within each squad there's different roles, as I said earlier. And some of the roles that I saw were officer, there was the support gunner and machine gunner, which I am right now. Then there was observer, and then there was a marksman, which is the second half of this video, and will come up in a couple minutes. But the officer, for example, he's limited in armament. He only has a pistol, but he can call in artillery barrages, mortar strikes, things like that. And then the machine gunner, I have this belt-fed machine gun, and then I have a pistol. And here you can see me reloading the machine gun. Now, it's trying to focus on squad gameplay, and so there's squad rewards. You'll play in a team of 4, and the more you play with that squad, the more experience you guys can get as a squad. And you'll also benefit personally from your own performance within the game, how many kills you get, how many objectives you take. And then there's squad experience as well, like say your officer tells you to capture a certain point. It's kind of similar to Red Orchestra 2 and Rising Storm in that aspect, in that it's trying to go for a little more realism and cooperative gameplay as opposed to just running around and shooting people. But it seems that in this gameplay I found a nice little spot here, and I've been laying down cover fire, and the only things, my issue that I had was even the barbed wire was affecting my view, so I'd have to kind of pivot up and down to get a good view sometimes, and then pivot back to fire a machine gun where I thought they were last. But I finally got the swing of the machine gun. And here's the outro screen showing the kills. And it took me a while because I kept getting ambushed by that damn guy with a pistol. And here's me playing as the marksman. And this right here kind of shows a good example of another class that I forgot, and that's the Grenadier. Grenadier. I have no idea what's with my pronunciation today, but it is absolutely terrible. Yeah, so I'm running around on the top of the trench, which would not have been good if this was real World War I. But running around trying to find a good spot. But yeah, the Grenadier, goodness. He has 2 grenades. Look at that, a one-man flank securing action right there. But he'll have 2 grenades and I think a rifle as well. And so basically it's supposed to allow, when all 4 players, you know, are operating together, they're a lot more effective than one man on his own. And I'm a big fan of bolt action rifles in gameplay. I think Call of Duty 1 was the first-person shooter that I really got into on the PC. That and Counter-Strike. But in Call of Duty 1, it was World War II themed, and I really enjoyed playing as the the Germans with the Kar 98, and I really liked the maps Hurtgen and Rocket, which were these snow-based maps. So it was really easy to see like little small pixel changes, and snipers would usually run havoc on those maps. But I had a knack for counter-sniping, which you can kind of see here, and that's basically firing, moving laterally, ducking, and kind of relocating slightly, and then just relying on kind of almost Twitch-like reflexes when you pop up to get kills. And pretty good accuracy and pretty good vision. And then it always helps to find a guy not looking at you. One thing I had a problem with, and this happened a couple times, was you had to, you couldn't reload whenever you wanted, in my experience. I had to wait till I was out of ammunition, and it wouldn't really tell you when you're out of ammunition. So there was a couple times I popped up, and I had no bullet to fire, so I had to pop right back down. But you can see right there, you kind of level up in the game, and kind of coming into my own once I get a bolt action rifle. And there's the running out of ammo thing. Would have had that guy, but he gets picked off by my teammate. And you can see right there, I think that's a French Renault trench style tank. Some of the first tanks. Speaking of tanks, who's looking forward to tanks in War Thunder? I sure am. But yeah, I found a really nice spot. It has a pretty good view on a couple of different avenues where the enemies are coming through, and I'm playing as a German right now, fighting the French, despite the direction that that French tank is facing. I am in fact the Germans. But I had a lot of fun playing this game, and it's free to play, and it's currently on a Steam Greenlight campaign, so if you play the game and you like it, make sure to support it. I'll have the links to both the Steam Greenlight campaign as well as the site, the Verdun site, where you can download this game. Free to play, very short download. The graphics are nothing to be, you know, there's nothing mind-blowing there, but the gameplay is pretty fun and pretty fresh in that it is World War I themed, and to my knowledge there are no real popular first-person shooters covering the World War I genre. I don't even think there's many first-person shooters in general. Should have gotten that headshot. Boom! Speaking of headshots, you know. But a lot of fun playing this game, and it was, as it's free to play, it would be another one fun to kind of set up, you know, maybe play with NTAC or Fly and just get a bunch of fans and stuff into this and just kind of fill up a server and see what happens. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're interested. And I think that little sound was me running into barbed wire. Not really sure. I also have a bayonet on this, but as I was a marksman and more prone to medium to long range firing, I did not use it. The only time I was really in a CQB situation was when the guy with the pistol ambushed me twice. So that round was over. Did relatively well. And I know a lot of, if you're a Call of Duty player or Battlefield player, trust me, bolt action rifles are a ton of fun. So there is the after action report. Anyway, I'm Baron. If you want the website links to get to this game or support it on Steam Greenlight, it's in the video description. I'm Baron. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Tell you what, this, I mean, I'm not sure if this is damage model or just 20s doing work. And my little German compatriot behind me, not able to do his job until it's too late and I already have 4 kills. 320s. Now imagine that when I'm able to upgrade it to 220s and 123.